everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this Among Us character in this video. I will make a smaller Among Us, smaller Among Us character in a different video if you want me to. Also, I'm sorry for the bad lighting. I don't know why it's showing up so neon. But this is just a regular green. But these are on the loom Among Us characters that I'll be showing you how to make today. Let's just get into it. But I'm going to be showing you how to make the bigger version, and if you want me to show you how to make the smaller version, we'll comment below, and yeah. But I'm going to be making this bigger version today, but in red instead. So you're going to need some sort of band that for the goggle, helmet kind of area where the eyes are. So I'm just using this teal jelly blue color, and I'm going to be using red for the main color of the character. You're also going to be needing a loom and your rainbow loom hook, or any hook that's kind of shaped like this. So yeah, I'm actually going to raise my camera stand a little bit because this is kind of big to fit into the camera range. But here we go. That's a little bit better. I might actually do that a little bit more. So there we go. But yeah, so I'm just gonna move some stuff down because my bands are all the way in the back of my desk. I wasn't too sure about how much space I need for filming this because I've never really filmed an on-loom tutorial before until really like right now, but here I am. So yeah, but I'm going to start off by showing you how to make the little front of the goggle piece so that it sticks out, and the backpack piece because that also sticks out. And they're not actually made on the loom, they're made separately. So I'm just going to show you how to make those real quick. But before we start that, just because normally the loom is like in kind of staggered order, today we're just going to pull out this middle piece, if I can even get it out, and put it in a straight pin order. Just like that. Now we can start on the backpack and the goggle. So I'm going to start with the goggle. So you're just going to take one teal blue band and wrap it around your hook 2 times. Make it wrapped around 3 times. Then you're going to take 2 bands. That was only one. And you're going to pull it through and make a chain. You're going to chain once more for a total of 2 chains. Just like that. Now I'm actually going to put them on this pin right there at the bottom of the loom for later, because this is actually one of the last things we're going to be putting on before we start hooking everything together. And basically we're going to do the same thing for the backpack, except we're going to do 4 chains instead. So again, take 1 band, wrap it around your hook twice, just like that, and then chain 4 and double band. Okay, so you should have 4 chains on this backpack, and then again I'm just going to put it on the end of my loom for later. But now we're going to start off with our red color, and you're actually just going to take 1 band to start off, and you're just going to put from here to there, you're going to put 1 band. Okay, and I'm actually going to zoom in and I'll kind of go down as I go. So then you're going to take 2 bands, and you're going to make them go from this pin to this pin. So that's, yes, a little bit more of a farther of a stretch, but that's gonna make it so that it's round at the top. So do that again, going the other diagonal way. So this one to this pin. And then one more set of 2 bands. And also every thing from this band on is all double bands, just so you know. And then you're just gonna bring those 2 bands down. Sometimes your bands may fall off, but that's okay. So it should look like this. Then you're gonna go down one whole row and do red, down, and double band. Just like that. Now you're gonna take 2 red bands and put them from this pin to this pin. And now we're gonna start taking our teal color for the goggle, and you're gonna do that right here and right there on this row. Okay? Then you're gonna take 2 red, and you're gonna actually just go down one more time on this side, and you're gonna do 2 more teal rows right here. Okay? So go down once again, and then finish that row. And now I'm gonna go down 3 rows with red and double band red, so 3 rows. So this row to this row and then this row. And I'm just gonna stay on camera to put them on here so that you guys can kind of compare your loom to mine when we're done. And yeah. So it's kind of hard to see because these bands kind of blend in with the blue piece in the back. But I did just do 3 more rows of red. Now I'm going to fill in the other 2 peg lines, I guess. I don't exactly know what to call it. I'm not the best at explaining this kind of tutorial because I've never really done an on the loom tutorial before. So I hope I'm saying everything right. But just keep going. Okay. So now, I'm just going to grab some red and put it over here. But for now we have to add the legs. So, for some reason there's a blue band right there. But for the legs, you're not going to do anything more down in the middle peg, and you're actually just going to go down 2 rows on each side, and you're not going to go down on the middle peg. So, here's 1. And I'm going to do 1 more row for the legs to make them just a little bit longer. And just like that, the shape of the Among Us character is done. Now we are going to add some capping bands and the goggle and the backpack. But before we do that, I am actually going to add some capping bands on the end over here so that the legs, don't get undone and whatnot. So for that, you're just going to wrap a single band around the peg of where the leg is 2 or 3 times, as much as you can do, and do the same thing on the other side. Oops. And if it gets undone, just be patient with yourself. It's not always going to happen on the first time, because, yes, this is a little bit harder to do, I guess. I don't know. Alright. There we go. So now let's add some bands to hold everything together. So we're going to start off by putting just 1 single band around this area right here, just like that. And then for the goggle area, I actually am going to use the teal color just so that it kind of blends in a little bit better. And you're going to do that for 2 rows. And now you're going to do red until you get down to here. And just straight across. Okay, so we're not going to add any more capping bands. But for this one, you can see that there's this thing in the back right here. And we don't really want that, so we're just going to pull it over the middle peg. Just like that. And that's going to make it so that the bottom stays together nice and tight. So yeah. If you want, you can push some stuff down. I don't know. Maybe that'll just help you. But now I am done with my bands and adding bands and stuff. So now we're going to add the goggle and the backpack. I'm going to start with the goggle. Just made a mess of my bands, but whatever. But you're just going to take all 4 of the bands that are on your hook, and you're going to place them around the top of where the backpack, the goggle should be over here. And you are actually going to have to stretch it pretty far to get it to the other peg. But that is why we have our hooks here to help us. So, gosh, hold on a moment. Alright. And just pull it down to the bottom of the goggle. Just like that. And yes, it's going to look a little bit stretched, but at the end it's going to look perfectly fine. So just ignore that. And we're going to do basically the same thing for the backpack, but instead I'm going to start where the middle of the goggle is. So you're going to start 3 rows down from the top of the Among Us characters right here. And you're just going to just put on the peg like you did for the goggle, and then use your hook to pull it down all the way down to right here, to the end of where we went all the way down to the middle. And just wrap it around the peg. Again, this might take a few tries. I mean, even I'm not perfect with this stuff, so. But yeah. So this is what it should look like. It looks a bit stretched out, but it will look like this when it's done. So now we can start the hooking, or the looming process. I don't exactly know what it's called. But basically, you're just going to go in, and I'm going to just kind of go up by the row. And yeah. So you're going to go in, and I might actually zoom in a little bit for this so you guys can see better. But you're going to not touch this top capping band at all. You're just going to go in and grab the bottom 2 bands and pull over and hook them onto the next peg and make a teardrop shape, or like an upside down teardrop shape. And again, you're going to go in, grab the bottom 2 bands and pull over. Then you're going to go, so then you have a lot of stuff on your hook right now. But you're going to ignore the capping band. You're going to ignore the big thing that we just hooked onto this. And you're going to go in all the way down to the bottom and only grab the last 2 bands that we are going to wrap over. And I actually only grabbed one of them, so hold on. And yes, it might be a little bit tight, so try to be as gentle as possible with your bands and eventually just get it over. Then go back in again. You always want to skip this band and just go straight down into the peg for the last 2 bands, and just keep doing that until you get all the way up. And I'm just going to continue doing this until I get all the way up. So, yeah. And also, I'm not going to be speeding up anything, so you guys can clearly see what I'm doing. And I don't have too many complaints about the terrible quality or whatever. Although I am aware I am recording this with my iPad, so the quality may be worse than it normally is. But yeah. So now you're going to do that from the middle, and actually you're just going to ignore this thing at all, and it might look like a smaller loop, but that's just because this is in front of it. So then you can just continue looming normally down. And continue going down until you get all the way to the top. And do the same thing with this last row. And now for the goggle, you're just gonna try to ignore that again. Go in and only grab the last two blue teal bands. Again, go in, ignore the teal, and just grab the two red bands. And keep going up. Okay. So now basically everything is pretty much loomed up, but this is going to be probably the hardest thing. This is the band that might break the most. I'm not entirely sure. But you're just going to gently pull it until it's pretty stretchy, and you're just going to pull it over the peg like you would normally would. And this is something we're going to fix at the end, so it doesn't look like a teardrop. That's going to fix once we unhook everything. But make sure this is on this hook and you're not slip knotting anything yet, just in case anything does break. But you're just going to start to, take it off the loom. So this part I am going to speed up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now it's like this, and I am just going to stick my hook and get that off of the peg. And now I'm just going to kind of pull it over to the other side. And now it should be a little bit more even, these two bands. And it should, once you take it off the loom, you can like stretch it out a little bit and kind of fix the way it looks if you're not loving it. So, yeah. But now, you're just going to pull the bottom of the two bands on this peg over the top one and stretch it until it is tight. And that's just a slip knot, so that it'll stay tight and together. And just like that. If you have a couple bands that are kind of sticking up like this, just try to pull some bands around it and it'll kind of make it go away. But yeah, this is really cute. It's a super easy little charm to make. And I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you want a tutorial for the smaller Among Us doll, then comment below. And yeah, bye!